The air in Pine Hollow was thick with the promise of summer freshly mowed grass, blooming lilacs, and the hum of sprinklers. My name is Ethan Caldwell, a software engineer who traded city chaos for this quiet suburb, a place where picket fences and cul-de-sacs whispered stability. My house on Elmwood Drive was my fortress, a sleek modern build I'd saved for years to own. I'd imagined a life of backyard barbecues and friendly waves, but what I got was a war I never saw coming, a war sparked by one man's paranoia and a neighborhood's willingness to believe his lies. So, pull up a chair, because this tale of deceit and defiance will leave you questioning who your neighbors really are. It started on a muggy Thursday evening. I'd been up since dawn, debugging code for a finicky client app, my eyes burning from screen glare. By 10:15 p.m., I was done, pulling into my driveway under a sky heavy with stars. My car, a modest SUV, purred to a stop, and I grabbed my laptop bag, the weight of a 12-hour day dragging at my bones. The street was silent, save for the faint chirp of crickets. I fumbled for my keys, my porch light casting a soft glow on my glass-paneled door. This was my refuge, my reward. Then, a sharp voice cut through the night like a blade. "Hey, what's your business here?" I turned, startled, to see Roger Platt, my neighbor across the street, standing in his yard, illuminated by his motion sensor floodlight. He was a wiry man, mid-50s, in a faded polo and cargo shorts, his eyes narrowed with suspicion. "I'm Ethan Caldwell," I said, keeping my tone even. "I live here." He scoffed, a harsh, disbelieving sound. "Sure you do. Skulking around late, huh? Checking out houses." His words dripped with accusation, and I felt a chill despite the humid air. "I'm just coming home from work," I said, holding up my keys as proof. His sneer widened. "Work, right? In that getup?" He gestured at my button-down and slacks, as if my office attire was a disguise. "I've been watching you. Always coming in late, that fancy laptop bag. What's in there, huh? Tools for breaking in." The absurdity hit me hard. Breaking in? To my own house? I forced a smile, trying to defuse. "Roger, I'm your neighbor. I moved in 4 months ago." But he stepped closer, his voice rising. "Don't give me that. People like you show up, and suddenly packages vanish, cars get scratched. You don't fit here." There it was, people like you. The phrase landed like a punch, loaded with unspoken prejudice. My family's roots were in India, and though I'd been born here, that didn't matter to Roger. My skin, my late hours, my very existence were threats in his eyes. Anger flared, but I swallowed it. "I'm going inside," I said, turning to my door. "Don't you walk away," he bellowed, pulling out his phone. "I'm calling the sheriff. We don't need your kind causing trouble." Time slowed. His fingers jabbed at his phone, and my heart pounded. I was on my own porch, key in hand, about to be labeled a criminal. If I argued, he'd twist it. If I ignored him, he'd claim I was fleeing. I set my bag down, raised my hand slowly, and faced him, my voice steady. "Go ahead, Roger. Call them." He smirked, triumphant, and spoke into the phone. "Sheriff's Department? There's a suspicious guy trying to get into a house on Elmwood Drive. He's acting shifty, carrying a bag, won't answer questions. I'm alone here, and he's scaring me." The lies were breathtaking. I hadn't refused to answer. I told him exactly who I was. But Roger was painting a picture, and I was the villain. Sirens wailed within minutes. 2 patrol cars rolling up, their lights flashing like a crime scene. Deputies stepped out, hands near their belts, scanning me and Roger. Deputy Harris, a stocky man with a calm demeanor, approached me. "Sir," hands where I can see them. I complied, explaining I was Ethan Caldwell, homeowner, just back from work. I handed over my ID, the address matching my door. Roger, meanwhile, was in full performance mode, gesturing wildly, claiming I'd been lurking for weeks. I unlocked my door, revealing my living roomy jacket on the couch, my coffee mug on the table. Harris's eyes softened, but Roger doubled down. "He's faking it. That ID's probably stolen." The younger deputy checked my license again, then looked at Roger. "Sir, his ID checks out. He lives here." Harris sighed. "Looks like a mix-up, Mr. Caldwell. Sorry for the trouble." No apology from Roger, just a glare as the deputies left. He retreated to his house, but his eyes promised this wasn't over. The next morning, I woke feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. Roger's words echoed, "People like you." I considered moving, escaping this toxic start. But this was my home, my stake in the dream I'd worked for. I wasn't letting Roger's bigotry drive me out. At work, my code blurred. Roger's hostility poisoned my focus. His campaign didn't stop at that night. On the Pine Hollow Neighbors app, he posted cryptic warnings. "Keep an eye out. Strange activity late at night on Elmwood. Lock your doors." Comments piled up, neighbors like Diane and Greg chiming in. "Thanks for the heads up, Roger." My friendly waves were met with averted eyes. A delivery box was left in my gutter, as if the driver feared my porch. Roger was turning the neighborhood into his echo chamber, and I was the outcast. I didn't scream or confront. I strategized. I called it Operation Lantern, a plan to expose Roger's lies with cold, hard proof. I joined the Neighbors app, wading through Roger's posts, complaints about outsiders, calls for a vigilant community, veiled jabs at me. I installed a network of 4K security cameras, front yard, doorbell, backyard, side alley, all linked to a cloud server. My house became a digital stronghold. Within days, the cameras paid off. Roger, walking his scruffy terrier, Max, stopped at the edge of my lawn, letting Max dig up my newly planted azaleas. He stood there, smirking, as Max tore through the soil. I saved the clip, labeled it Roger_Max_vandalism_1.mp4. More followed. Roger tossing a soda can into my bushes, Roger lingering by my mailbox, peering at my windows. Each clip was a brick in my case. I found an ally in Mia, a barista who lived down the street, a recent transplant like me. Over coffee, she confided that Roger had targeted her too, griping about her loud music and weird friends. "He's a control freak," she said. "With you, it's worse. It's personal." Her words fueled me. I upgraded my cameras, capturing Roger's every move. The jackpot came on a rainy afternoon. Max, off-leash, trampling misses. Helen Warner's prized tulips, Roger watching without a care. Helen was Pine Hollow's matriarch, her garden a neighborhood treasure, her influence ironclad. Roger's act was a declaration of war against the wrong target. I had him. The Pine Hollow Garden Gala was the perfect stage. The annual event, with its potluck and awards, was Helen's domain, her tulips the reigning champions. I needed Mia, who helped organize the gala's tech setup, to deliver the blow. In my living room, I showed her the footage Max ruining Helen's tulips, Roger's smug in action. "He's a menace," Mia said, her eyes wide. We crafted a video, set to the dramatic pulse of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, starting with idyllic shots of Pine Hollow's gardens, then revealing Roger's vandalism. It was a risky play, but the truth was my weapon. For weeks, I endured Roger's stares, his app posts about suspicious vehicles, my SUV, letting him think he was untouchable. The gala was a sunny spectacle, tables laden with casseroles, kids darting around, Helen's tulips glowing. I arrived late, in jeans and a polo, blending in, my pulse racing. Roger strutted in a loud Hawaiian shirt, chatting up neighbors, oblivious to the trap. Mia, at the projector, gave me a nod. As Helen's tulips were judged, Mia took the mic. Before the awards, a special tribute to our gardeners. The screen flickered with happy scenes, kids and sprinklers, blooming roses. Then, the music shifted, dark and heavy. A title flashed, a dedication to Pine Hollow's guardians. The first clip rolled. Roger, letting Max destroy Helen's tulips, timestamp clear. Gasps filled the air. The video cut to Roger's app post. "Let's keep Pine Hollow pure." Then, Max digging in my azaleas, Roger tossing trash. The crowd was silent, horrified. Roger's face turned purple. "It's doctored," he yelled, jabbing a finger at me. "He's framing me." I sat still, my calm a stark contrast to his rage. Helen rose, her voice like steel. "Roger, you've slandered Ethan, accused him of crimes for living his life. Now you've ruined my garden out of spite. You're the problem." Neighbors turned away. Diane muttered apologies. Greg slipped out. Roger stormed off, his shirt a garish blur. The gala resumed, Helen's tulips winning, but the real victory was mine. Roger's house went dark, his app posts deleted. He moved out a month later, a pariah? Neighbors apologized. Mr. Dawson, the gardener, shook my hand. The delivery guy grinned. Helen invited me to her garden club, and I joined the neighborhood board, planning a community park. A year later, a scrawled note from Roger arrived, admitting his envy and bias. It wasn't about forgiveness, it was closure. Sitting on my porch now, Pine Hollow feels like home. This wasn't just about beating a bully. It was about building a better community with truth and strategy. If you're fighting your own Roger, don't stoop to their level. Plan, wait, and let the truth strike. Peace.